Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Crossway's new men's study Bible. It is the English Standard Version. Really excited to review this Bible. I've been using it to do some study the last couple weeks, and I'm very impressed with the quality of the study notes in this Bible and the quality of just the way it's presented and really its purpose. We live in a day and age right now where men are under attack, masculinity is under attack, biblical masculinity. And so to see a publishing company like Crossway, who I really respect, putting out something specific to strengthen men is a really beautiful thing. So as we get into this review, I want to start just by kind of laying out the basic overview of the Bible itself. So this Bible is 6 1/4 wide like this and 9 inches tall. It is a hard shell Bible. So it comes with this little sleeve. And if you turn it to the side here, it says Men's Study Bible on the side there. It's got the ESV logo at the top, Crossway logo down at the bottom here. And then the front, Men's Study Bible, ESV logo, little shield logo here. And then again, it says English Standard Version. When you open the Bible up, it's got this green on the inside, just like a cardstock type paper. You take this off here, this sleeve. And you're left basically with a Bible that's still kind of that green color. But then this darker green here, as well as the darker green is on the spine with the ESV logo, Men's Study Bible, and the Crossway logo down at the bottom. Again, like I said, hardcover, and this cover is really nice. I was really impressed with the craftsmanship and the quality of the cover. I think it's going to last for a good long time. The binding is great, as you'll see in a moment. One of the things I'm most impressed with is the quality of the binding and its ability to stay open at Genesis 1 and Revelation 22. So as you open, you have these cardstock papers. You can maybe use them for notes or whatever. The classic presentation page. Then you get into the actual Bible. So it kind of lists out, the books of the Bible. And then it has, throughout the Bible, you have reflections. And these reflections are written by different biblical theologians, scholars, pastors. And each one kind of takes reflections for each book of the Bible. So over here you have Genesis, you have Exodus, you have Leviticus, Numbers, and you have a particular pastor, scholar that writes specific things for specific passages. And this kind of is the reference page which lists both what they're called as well as where to find them in the Bible, the page number. So that's very helpful. Now as you get into the actual text of the Bible, you have your introductions to each Bible passage. Great, it gives you like the date, the recipients. And here we go. Get into the actual text. Having trouble turning this page. There it is. Look at that. The Bible lies perfectly flat. It's amazing. And for a hardcover, this is actually really impressive. I've found a lot of the hardcovers like to swing back just because they're not as malleable as but you can lay this flat, and it's perfect for a study Bible because most people aren't going to be holding their study Bibles as they're studying them. They're going to be laying them flat next to them. So this is great. What I love about this Bible too is it has gold accents. So like a gold inlay at the top above the word Genesis, and this is for every book in the Bible, as well as gold accents for the verses in the study notes as well. Now, as you continue throughout this, you're going to see that scattered throughout are these basically little mini articles, I guess you could call them, reflections, I think is how the Bible calls them. So you have these reflections that go with the passages in Scripture, but the cool thing is that they are directed towards men. And so because this is a men's study Bible, you're not getting just a general picture and overview of the text. You're getting an overview of a text with a specific goal of talking to and reaching men. And so the audience, there's an awareness of who the audience is as you're going through this Bible, which is really, really wonderful. Like this one, this is the beauty of divine providence, and it talks about providence in the book of Genesis. So going back to some of the details, if I just flip to a random page here. So what you're going to see is the text is an 8.2 font, which is kind of small. So if I'm being honest with you, my eyes aren't the greatest, and this text is a little small for me. I think especially if you're going to be using it regularly for studying, if your eyes are weaker, this might not be the best font size. But to make up for that, I will grant that the spacing is really nice. The spacing makes it such that you can read pretty well even if your eyesight is pretty poor. But I will critique slightly the fact that the study notes are even smaller. I mean, naturally so, you're going to expect that. But because they're smaller, it is a bit difficult to read if you have bad eyesight. And to kind of finish us off is the thinness of the paper. This page is very, very, very thin. And because it's thin, you have this ghosting that occurs. And unfortunately, when you have the ghosting, it kind of makes your ability to see what's on the page a little bit more difficult. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that if you have poor eyesight, this Bible's probably going to be frustrating for you. It's a great Bible. The content's phenomenal, but if you have poor eyesight, you're probably going to be frustrated with the ghosting from the other page. You're probably going to be frustrated with the type size, and you're definitely going to be frustrated with the thinness of the page. And the thinness of the pages is actually my biggest critique. I don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about this Bible, but the page thinness, for a study Bible, I would have expected and hoped for a little bit thicker pages. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, as you're studying, you like to flip through the Bible. As you saw back in Genesis, it took me a while to even get to that first page because the pages stick together. They're so thin. It's easy to turn 2 pages instead of 1. In addition to that, study Bibles, most of them tend to be marked up. People want to highlight things. People want to take little notes in the margins and stuff. And so with thin pages like this, the bleed is absolutely going to happen. And unfortunately, that might interfere pretty dramatically with your ability to read letters on the opposite page. So that's my biggest critique, is just the thinness of the pages with the fact that there's ghosting. There's no line matching. That's the other problem. And the size of the text can be a little bit difficult, compounding all those things together. But now moving on, I just want to point out the quality of the notes throughout this Bible. If you have an ESV study Bible, very similar. But the really wonderful thing about the notes, and this is one of the things that I can say broadly about the ESV in general that I really like about the ESV study Bibles from Crossway. If I'm reading a study Bible that is explicitly Baptistic, for me as an Anglican, that can be a bit frustrating, because I'm not going to be edified or grow from somebody who is writing from a dogmatically Baptist perspective. That's not my tradition. I have theological disagreements. One of the things I love about what Crossway does is the way that they exegete the text within the study notes. They either leave it broad enough that a Baptist and an Anglican like myself can read it and be edified, or they list the different opinions that people come to on these particular texts. And so they'll actually lay out, some people think this, some people think this. And so what I love about that is if you're a Baptist and you buy this, you're going to grow from it. You're going to be edified. And if you're an Anglican like myself, you're going to benefit from this. You're going to be edified as well. And so Crossway does a really good job of teaching broadly reformational evangelical theology, but doing it in such a way that people from various traditions can read the same Bible with the same study notes and both be deeply impacted by it and edified by it. Moving on to the back, this page is articles and resources. This is really cool. So at the very back of the Bible, you have a little bit more long-form articles. Like this one's called The Message of the Bible, and it kind of lists the meta-narrative of Scripture. What is the point of Scripture? What is it trying to teach? Here you have one called A Man's Identity. It goes through and it just nurtures what does it mean to be a man on a biblical level. Communion with God. You go through, there's ones on singleness, on marriage, on calling, on fatherhood. Such a beautiful thing to have all these resources for men. And these are written by incredible scholars throughout. That's the other thing, too, is throughout the whole Bible. All of these reflections, all of these resources are written by scholars. So people like Sam Storms, all these guys throughout Scripture are writing these little articles, a lot of these evangelical scholars. And so I've been benefiting a lot from them. Really cool, actually. My former pastor, Mike Bullmore, he pastors a church in Bristol, Wisconsin. He had some in here too that were really, really great. Going finally to the back, there's one more thing I didn't want to skip right before the glossary. You have, here it is, a reading plan. For people who like structured readings, especially men, sometimes it can be difficult to just jump in. We like to have structure. Reading plan is very helpful. So they have a reading plan that goes through the entire calendar year that can help you. In addition to this, you have your classic maps at the back. These are great maps, pretty standard for most Crossway Bibles, in color, harder, more of a cardstock type paper. Really great, love it. And that's basically it about the Bible. I think that every man should have this on their bookshelf, and there's a few reasons why. The first reason is that we live in a culture, like I said at the beginning, that is constantly attacking what it means to be a man. Having resources, especially ones that are written right alongside the Scripture themselves, that teaches men what it means to be a man, you can't beat it. It's a beautiful thing. And so I would really encourage you guys to pick this up. This Bible retails for $49.99 on the Crossway website. It's not a bad price, especially for the amount of resources you're getting in here. You're getting tons of scholarship, tons of wonderful notes, as well as just the pure Scripture. So again, my only critique, the page thinness, the font size. That's it. Beyond that, this is a beautifully designed Bible, a beautifully put together Bible, and a really, really great study Bible. So I would highly recommend you check it out. Support Crossway. I want to thank them for sending me this Bible for review. And with that, I will talk to you all next time. Thanks for watching.